Blog Talk Radio.
Do you ever stop to wonder if people really knew the truth about what was going on in the world, if they would be any different? Because quite frankly, normal abandoned me a long time ago. My name is Dakota Frandsen. I am the specialist of the strange and fucked up. You'll never see the world the same way once you stick with me. Nothing is off limits. And you'll never know what world I'll be coming from for each episode. Listen in. And wait for your world to be changed forever.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dakota Frandsen. I am the one and only specialist of the strange, and welcome to my show. Today is October 26, 2018. 5 more days until Halloween. Oh, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but anyone who knows me can tell you Halloween is my favorite time of the year. Should be no surprise considering my entire freaking livelihood was set up on ghosts and freaky shit going down. So, what is it that I have for you this evening? The title of this show is Vic or Survivor. Thoughts on holiday horrors. Horrors. Get your mind out of the gutter, you motherfuckers. Horrors. Like horror movie, not whores. I really got to work on my stutter. Anyway. Because I don't know about the rest of y'all, but is it just me? Or is it the week of Halloween where shit just starts to go crazy? It's so crazy, man. No. Fuck that. No. It's right when the stores start putting out the fucking Christmas shit. Right around then, everybody seems to go crazy. And I'm not the only one that sees it. I got friends in law enforcement. I got friends in the medical profession, fire department, paramedics, doctor's office, even the dispatchers. I know I gave you a shout out, mama. I gave you a shout out. Okay, I love you, mama. Okay. It always seems about this time when people go crazy. Traffic gets crazy. Hell, I had to buckle up my fucking pizzas that I had to go pick up earlier today just to make sure they didn't get splattered. Yes, I actually did it. If you look on my Instagram feeds, you'll know. You'll see it. But like I said, this episode, thoughts on holiday horrors. Horrors! Stop twisting my words, you fuckers. Anyway. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it seems like it's always this time of year where the crazy goes down. I mean, for me, it's been a long time since I had a decent winter. And no, it's not just because I hate the snow. I'll be honest with y'all. This episode's kind of personal for me. Well, they're all kind of personal, but this one especially. Because you see, since I was 14, some of the worst events of my life happened around this time of year. And I've already started making visitations because unfortunate anniversaries are coming up. Just to check on everybody that was involved. Now, some of you may try to say, oh, Dakota, it can't be that bad. Dakota, you're being dramatic. Dakota, you're full of shit. You see, when I was 14 years old, I got the news that most of my siblings were being taken into foster care because it had been revealed my father had been sexually assaulting one of my sisters. Evidence showed that it's been going on for at least 7 years. They believe longer, but that's all the police were able to get to stick. And yeah, my father's actually sitting in a jail cell. They decided to move him due to prison overcrowding here in Idaho. So I'm honestly getting ready to hear the news that my father was killed. Because I've made friends, acquaintances, with people on the inside, guards on the inside, who told me somehow the news already got out, what he did. The year after that, almost exactly a year, the one man I can actually consider a father figure, my maternal grandfather, man who, fans of the Showtime show Dexter might be a bit more familiar with this analogy, but he was my Harry. He was the reason why I became the guy I am today. Hell, he was the very first client I had when I started ghost hunting. But it's been almost 7 years now. I know he's fulfilled his promise to haunt my ass. He literally made that promise before he died, that if he ever lost his fight with cancer, he would make sure to haunt my ass. He even said that he would try to find the ugliest lunch lady he could find, possess her, and make her start kissing up on me. That never happened. I just told the old man, bring it on. But still, I miss the old man. And if somehow you can get your voice in on this broadcast, go right ahead. Listen in. Might want to get some earbuds, just in case. Year after that, my siblings did come out of foster care, but shit was still going on, and it got to the point where my grandparents on my father's side had to take in my siblings. 6 young kids. And when I say young, I mean the youngest, barely in the first grade, I think. For a while, it got calmed down. Then, when I was 19, a friend of mine was murdered. In fact, that year, I ended up dealing with 3 homicide cases. Year after that, 2 more, including a woman I loved and her unborn child. I was trying to help her get away from an abusive ex. She lived across the country, so it was a weird situation, no matter how you look at it. But she was one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, and she was doing her best to get away, doing best to do good for her daughter. Hell, she even said that it was her dream to one day join the FBI. Then the ex she was trying to get away from, he found out. I don't know if he found out about me specifically, but he found out that she was getting ready to leave, and he attacked her, split her throat open. I've done my best to move on. Hell, I've been in other relationships, but that kind of stuff doesn't go away, you know? I've stopped friends of mine. I've even socked a guy so hard in the stomach when I caught him trying to take a bottle of pills just so he would throw them all up. So I wasn't sure how much he actually managed to get down his system. Was able to talk him down to where we didn't need to get police involved at the time, but it was still scary. And there was an incident where I found out one of my cousins was getting into some trouble. Tried to electrocute himself. I've seen young babies. If I remember correctly, it was right around this time period too. I've seen mothers burst down into tears because the fathers of the children weren't coming home. Not because of war, not because of some freak accident, because they made the choice to drink, drive, and they got into the enough wreck. Eyewitness accounts said it looked exactly like something out of the movies. People always wonder why I try to help out whenever I can. It's because I've been to hell and back. Have I managed to overcome all of this? Yes. But most recently, I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but child that one of my kids through the charity programs I work with, I found out she's sick. She's got a brain tumor. And it's in a spot where doctors are a little too scared to do anything. Because no matter what they do, it might change her. Treatments might completely make, even if they went with non-invasive options, it would make her a completely different person. Doing what I can to try to help cover medical bills. But she's only 8. And I never thought I'd hear. And I wanted to do this episode to try to illustrate a point. I don't ever tell these stories of mine to try to gain sympathy. Every bit of it is true. That was just some of the bullet points from main incidents that happened, but there's no way I could fit everything that I've had happen to me into one episode. But the reason why I decided to do this episode was because it seemed like a lot of people were going through some rough times. Some relationships, some concerned about family illnesses, some even getting ready to find out whether or not if their family members are going to be incarcerated here soon. I wanted to do this episode to try to reach out. To try to reach out to people who are afraid to really reach out to anybody. Because I've been there. I know what it's like to feel like you're going to be judged. And it's situations that were completely beyond your control. There could have been nothing. There's absolutely nothing that you could have done to prevent it. You had no clue it was even coming in the first place. But I wanted to do this episode to reach out. I don't do this for fame. I don't do this for money. I do it because it's the right thing to do. I do it because I know what it's like to be afraid of what's to come. Feel that hurt when you see your loved ones burst down in the tears when it seems like the odds are against you. I know what it feels like to fear that you're going to be judged, that nobody's going to understand. I even know what it feels like to contemplate taking your own life because it seemed like it was going to be too much to bear. And because of these close people of mine, my loved ones that have been coming to me because of these situations, that a conversation with an old teacher of mine came back to the surface. Everything that's going on just reminded me of this conversation. This took place right around the height of the investigations into my father's actions. Teacher found out what was going on, and I told him that I had known for a long time that something was up, and I've always had the fear of being compared to him, of somehow his actions falling back and hurting me. People judging me because of the things he did. Thinking that I'm going to turn into a man just like him. This teacher, he set me aside once he listened to my story, something out to me. He was the one that pointed out that it wasn't going to be my father's action that defined the type of person I was. It was the things I did. It was how I responded to these things. Things were still going on, and it was quite obvious even more chaotic crap was going to be coming my way. It made me realize that in the grand scope of things, I had two choices to make. I had one of two choices. And they would define the type of man I would become. The first choice I could make was I could burst down in the tears, fall down, let myself get knocked around, plain bitch whine about what was going on. So, oh, woe is me. Oh, woe is me. Oh, I'm depressed. I'm hurt. This hurts. Do nothing. Just sit back and complain. And potentially make the situation much worse. Or was I could sit back, take a breather, process everything that's going on, maybe vent a bit to help clear my head, and I can take the time to learn. learn what caused the problem, learn what needs to be done, learn what I can do in order to avoid it from happening again. And learn how to fight so I may one day help someone else who's going through the same thing. And I can make a difference in this world. And that's all, honestly, all I wanted, was to go out and make a difference. When it came to the situation that my father caused, I wanted to try to build something, and I'm continuing to try to do that, to give people confidence, to help them find the strength to speak up against these things. And this is why I fully support the Me Too movement. Not that some of the more extreme acts that some of these ladies are going to, but why I try to do my best to support it. Do my best to, as I go out into the world, help anyone I can to the best of my ability. Knowing that I was doing that, one of my best friends, because he was there to see some of the worst of it happen, he pointed out to me that I have already become something more than my father ever could. You see, when it comes to my father's side of the family, I was actually the first person in a long time to actually graduate high school. Not drop out and get a GED, not get held back. I was the first one to graduate. And except for a couple tickets from a car accident I got into a couple years ago, criminal record is clean. And I had no kids. See, my parents had me just after they got out of high school. I have no kids of my own. I have 400 plus that I help mentor and watch over, but none of them are my own blood. I've gotten the chance to travel the world thanks to some incredible people. And I've managed to forge relationships that mean more to me than anything else. One of who I showed a goofy picture of me wearing a funky wig to before this broadcast. Because I set up this program to try to reach out, the main point behind getting behind as many movies as I can, doing these radio shows, doing music, writing books, to get my story out there and to hopefully have it land in the hands of someone who needs it. Because a lot of you have a lot more potential to achieve things even beyond your wildest dreams if you were to put in the effort. If you were to say, enough is enough, this is what I want in life. Some of you may not even know what you want. And that's okay. But if you don't take the time to try to figure it out, try some new things, you're going to be lost forever. So this is the point so this is the question I want to ask some of you. When the shit hits the fan, whether it's a bad relationship, whether it's finding out a loved one has fallen ill, a marriage ending, family member getting put into prison, fire breaking out, burning down the house. Or even having someone close to you betray your trust and hurt you in ways you never thought they could. What are you going to become? You're going to lay back, take a beating, whine, complain, and make the problems worse? Or are you going to rise up and learn how to fight it? Reach out to those who want to help, because the help is out there. Or overcome it. Are you going to become a victim? Or will you be a survivor? Last time I checked, victims become forgotten. The victims are forgotten. The survivors write history. That's all for today. Be sure to tune in next week on October 30th and 31st as we have a two-part special on the origin of Halloween. As well as turn in next Friday. I don't know what that episode's going to be about it yet. But tune in 3 episodes of Specialists of the Strange coming at you. You can also check me out on PsychicsLive.com. I'm going to be taking on night shifts soon, so be sure to come find me. I'll help you out to the best of my ability. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter. Check out my partners at MAGIX Software. You can also find an official list of all social media accounts that I manage myself, because there have been things. There's a list I keep on my website of all the social media accounts I manage, all the stores I run where you can get yourself some cool merchandise made on my site. Will benefit charity. And you can also check out some of my partners. We got some really cool stuff there. I'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Think about what I said. I love you all. I'll catch you next time. Adios.